guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name's Ciara and I do beauty and lifestyle videos. I hope you'll subscribe if you like this video. I'm going to do a video that's kind of different than what I normally do. It's a story time video about when I was broke and homeless. I wanted to share this with you guys because you see the glory but you don't know the story, and I did want to share this so that if anybody's going through anything or you're at a low point in life, it inspires you and motivates you. Here is what happened. This was about 7 to 8 years ago. When I started doing YouTube, I lived in Europe. I lived in Europe because I was married at one point. I graduated from college. Shortly after graduating, I got married, and then I moved overseas for my then husband's work. I found myself overseas in Europe, kind of a little bit bored. I wasn't working, and so that's when I started my YouTube channel, and that's also when I started working on my MBA. The situation became very abruptly volatile, and I ended up coming back to the States in a very quick chain of events. I didn't even know what was happening, and because I hadn't been working or anything, I came back to the States with a pocket full of change and some euros, and because the situation had become so volatile and manipulative, I didn't have anything when I came here. I didn't have a car, I didn't have a place to stay. Like, it was just really bad. Definitely the lowest point in my life. It was a very painful situation. There was a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, a lot of things that I dealt with that to this day I still haven't talked to many people about. When I got back to the States, I was staying with family until I could get on my feet. As soon as I got back, regardless of what was going on with my situation, I immediately started applying to jobs. I knew that no matter what was going to happen, I had to be able to take care of myself. That is when something like switched in my brain, and the Ciara you guys see now, which is like the very driven, motivated, independent, goal-oriented Ciara, was still, you know, a little bit younger and had some growing to do, and that situation literally forced me to just take my life into my own hands. Shortly thereafter, I started interviewing for a few jobs. One was for a neuroscience research position, and another was for, I don't even remember what the position was for. I ended up getting hired on with this home health care company, which was a good idea theoretically because I was working on my master's in business administration with a concentration in healthcare management. So being in an administrative role in a home healthcare company was a good idea to me at the time, but the problem was it was completely disorganized. They ended up hiring me in a position that was completely different than what I applied for. The owner found my YouTube channel. At this time, my YouTube channel was still very small, but I guess, you know, it made an impression upon her. So she hired me on to be in charge of their public relations and marketing. Mind you, I had never taken a day of marketing or public relations in my life, but at that moment I had to provide for myself, and I just had to keep my head above water, so I pretty much faked it till I made it. I remember my first day at that job, I called one of my best friends who got a degree in public relations and communications, and I was like, how do I do a press release? I was in survival mode. I just did what I had to do. Eventually it got to the point where like there was really nothing for me to do with that company. There was no direction. I think that it was just a very disorganized company. So eventually they did come to me and stated the obvious: there's really nothing else for you to do here, so we're gonna let you go. And it's funny because the day that they did that, I was thinking in my head like, y'all should have realized this a long time ago. Literally on my way home from leaving that job, I called the manager for the neuroscience research position, and I let him know, hey, you know, I was working a job to have something in place, but I'm no longer in that position. So if you guys are still considering me for this job, I really, you know, wanted you to know that and want you to know I'm still highly interested. Ironically, he was just getting ready to call me that same day and offer me the position. God just works in mysterious ways. Sometimes you have to just trust him. You have to do everything you can and then leave the rest to him. So I ended up getting the neuroscience research position. I worked in that training for like 6 months, and then they sent me to start a satellite office in another city. For those of you who have been with me for a while, you can go into my YouTube videos and my archives. That's where I really started getting into YouTube and where my channel really started taking off, and I just really began to fall in love with it because I was in a very remote area. I didn't have anyone. I just spent time with myself and I talked to the camera. I will definitely say that was the best year of my life and the worst year of my life. Your lowest point is not your ending point. I think that I went through that because it made me into the person I am today. It made me very independent, very driven. It just made me into business savvy person that I am. I had nothing when I came back to the States. That's when I bought my first car. I got my first apartment. I saved up, bought all my furniture with cash. That's how I started building my credit. I started learning about credit and taking care of my finances. I eventually finished my master's. Like, there's just so many life lessons that came out of that. So if you are going through something right now, just be encouraged and just know that God has something in store for you. Whatever you're going through, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you really just have to lean on God and be proactive and stay positive. I hope that that story gave you guys some more insight into who I am and just some of the things I've been through, and hopefully it encourages those of you if you're going through anything. Because this is the first time I've done like one of these kind of story time inspirational videos, let me know if you guys like this. It's kind of nerve-wracking to put yourself out there for everyone to view and pick apart. This is my first time doing something like that, and so it really would help me if you guys either thumbs up or comment below and let me know if you like this, and that lets me know if I should do more of these or not, because it's hard to know without getting feedback from you guys. So I really do appreciate y'all's feedback. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I hope this encouraged you, and I will see you in my next video.